All right. Welcome back to my channel. This is Aaliyah Brixton, and we are here with another podcast-like video. Guys, I just want to get straight into this. So it comes as no surprise that the following two are being talked about again, as they have a notorious and toxic relationship that comes and goes. And if you haven't guessed it, yes, we are talking about Blueface and Chrisean Rock. Now, this week the couple is making headlines once again for their uncanny behavior displayed on the podcast No Jumper. But they're also making headlines because Miss Chrisean has announced that she is expecting. And by expecting, yes, I very much do mean a whole baby, okay? Now, it comes as no surprise that this couple is having issues. But I have seen a lot of people wanting to put the blame solely on one party or another. And the reality is that's not possible. Both parties are entirely to blame for what is going on at hand. In this video, I want to focus on three main talking points. So without further interruption, let's get into this video. Okay, so point number one is their childhood. Now, there's not a lot of information on the web when it comes to Blueface's childhood or Chrisean's childhood, but there are bits and pieces of their childhood that we can discuss. So when it comes to Blueface, he was born January 20th, 1997 in Los Angeles. So his birthday literally just passed the other day. He started acting in like local commercials, and he was described by coaches as athletic, serving as the star quarterback on the football team. He is also a member of the Schoolyard Crips gang, which dominated his neighborhood that he grew up in. And he attended college in North Carolina for some time. However, he did not last very long. He then returned back home to California, where he began pursuing a career in barbershopping. I know barbershopping is not a word, but you know, he thought he was going to be a barber, so he started doing hair. He had an Instagram page for it, and he also was staying at home taking care of his son. Now, in a New York Times interview, the rapper was quoted by saying, "I want to make the most by doing the least." Now, this quote is very imperative, and it will come up later again in this video, so I want us to remember that. Now, something else to note is that many people feel that Blueface mom may have this like mindset that my son is my man syndrome. However, this is weird since he does have an older brother. However, throughout their ordeal, his mother does come out very often. Like, her name comes up a lot. So now when we look at Chrisean Rock, now Chrisean was born in 2000. She was born in Baltimore, Maryland. The infamous social media star was most known for her track and athletic physique. She even won $10,000 on Ultimate Tag, and she attended Santa Monica College at some point for some period of time for track. She is one of 12 siblings with an absentee father who was in and out of jail and a mother who was on drugs. It is stated that she also trained supposedly for the Junior Olympics from ages 12 to 17. Now, that sounds like a very promising, life turnaround story for a girl who did come from such a terrible childhood. However, when we combine the traumas of their childhood together, I think that's where we really start to see a problem. So now during the pandemic, much like a lot of other artists, Blueface needed a way to make money. So he partnered up with the pandemic money maker, OnlyFans, and started a show called Blue Girls Club, a take on the Oxygen hit show Bad Girls Club. This is where the couple started their on-again, off-again relationship that has been placed on display for the world to see. Now, point number two, the friggin' drama. Honestly, guys, I can't tell you why or how this relationship started, but what I can do is recall some of the most notable moments in the couple's relationship. So now, to start it all off, this is really not in any type of like chronological order, but I do remember Chrisean losing her teeth on Blue Girls Club. So while Chrisean was filming Blue Girls Club, her front tooth was unfortunately knocked out due to her slipping and falling while trying to escape the other girls in the house. This is because she was saying supposedly that they were all trying to jump her. And, of course, no one's going to stand there and get jumped. So, she was running around. She had socks on. She slipped. She fell. She knocked her tooth out. So one of the biggest moments that really happened in this relationship, where I think the world really started to see the turmoil and just how toxic this relationship really was in May of 2022, a video leaked on the internet that showed Chrisean Rock and Blueface's mother fighting one another. While the altercation was never explained, there were videos of Rock confirming that she did indeed fight both the mother and the sister. Now, Recently, in January of 2023, in the No Jumper interview, Blueface explains that he allowed Chrisean to attack his mother because his mother was being both verbally and physically abusive to the couple after reaching her own breaking point with them, and he could not allow her to do so. So linked below is the clip in where Blueface talked about the whole situation and how everything transpired and like what went down to a T. But I do want to note, guys, this man literally said that he allowed his girlfriend to beat his mom. Again, he allowed his girlfriend to beat his mom. Like, that's crazy. That's out of pocket. That's out of line. While I do understand that his mom was being physically and verbally abusive, he says that she was allegedly throwing items at the couple, talking about Chrisean's upbringing and her childhood and things like that. This definitely does play a role, though, into the thought and idea of how a lot of people have been saying that they do find that his mom has this "my son is my man" mentality. Because just the things that she's saying and the way how she's interacting with the couple is not very much giving mom-like. And that is something that he mentioned in the No Jumper interview, that if you're not going to act like my mom, I can't treat you like my mom. And I can understand that 100%. So just 4 months later, in September of 2022, Blueface would be filming a show on Zeus Network with Chrisean, in which on camera he would be getting into his own altercation with Chrisean's family after attempting to have a sit down with them in hopes of understanding the dynamic of their relationship. It is important to note that Chrisean's brother Mookie and father did ultimately, what it looked like to me, plan to attack Blueface. If you guys did watch the show, or if I can get a clip of it, I will insert it. But at one point, Mookie pulls the dad to the side and whispers something to him. And upon whispering something to the dad then comes back, stands directly in front of Blueface and whops him in the face on the side, while Mookie appears to be trying to go around to the other side to hit Blueface from there. However, he ultimately doesn't end up hitting Blueface. Now, the couple, given their unstable childhoods of what appears to be both individuals, it's no surprise that physical and verbal abuse is what feeds this relationship. There has been several incidents in which the couple has both gotten on social media to air each other business out. At one point, Rock even released a video of the two having sexual intercourse, the most notorious one being the fight outside of a bar, which led to Chrisean's arrest, and then a live stream with Kai Scent, a streamer, in which Rock left his wall damaged from throwing a chair. Now, the reason why this is so imperative is because oftentimes, and I do have a video on this and I will link it down below for you guys to go back and watch, but a lot of times the childhood traumas that we face as kids growing up, we play those things out in real life as we get older and as we become adults. And one of the biggest things for Chrisean, I remember her saying in the interview, is that she never felt like she was really heard at home. So she would always try to find different outlets to express herself. And that's how she really got into track and, doing a lot of extracurricular activities. And I think that we see that here now. Like, she does try to express herself to him, but when she's unable to effectively express herself, that's when she turns to like this fragile little girl, and she's very like angry and like just overpowering and over talking and doing like all these other things that are definitely just uncalled for. So I do want to say that I can see how, her childhood being one of 12 siblings and probably not being heard and not really being recognized or anything like that can affect her in the relationship that she has with him, because she does crave attention and she craves to be loved and she's yearning love. But ultimately this just might not be the place where she's gonna get it. Another thing that I want to know is the baby mother drama. So many of you know that Blueface is a father to 2 kids with baby mother and high school girlfriend Jaden Alexis. During the duration of him and Rock's relationship, Blue and Jaden birthed a baby girl just about 4 months ago. So while they were together, pretty much the whole timeline of the situation, for what I understand, is that while Jaden was with Blue originally, that's when him and Chrisean had whatever dealings that they had. And then throughout some point of him and Chrisean having dealings, he then used to go and still hook up with Jaden. Clearly he was hooking up with her unprotected, and that's how she was able to birth their baby girl. But he's also hooking up with this cuckoo bird, Chrisean, unprotected as well, because she's also expressed that she's had several abortions for him. Now, this is imperative because it has been mentioned before that, right. So, Chrisean has been pregnant for him several times before. And honestly, for me, this just all goes to show the whole notion that, like, he doesn't see her as anything more than what they have going on and just as a money thing. So now for me, as I mentioned earlier in this video, a lot of people feel like either party is to blame. They feel like the blame is solely on Blueface. They feel like the blame is solely on Chrisean. Now, let's be clear. Chrisean is 22 years old and Blueface is 26. Both parties are consenting adults to the situation that they're in. Blueface has a manipulative, narcissistic attitude about him. While I must say I agree with people when they say that Blueface knows and understands the control he has over Chrisean and takes advantage of that to his benefit, he's not slow. He knows that his girl, who has him tattooed on her 7 times, is madly in love with him. And whether it's for the right reason or wrong reason, he's willing to allow her to stay as long as he benefits some form of monetary compensation from it. Let's be real. When is the last time we heard Blueface put out a song? Like, he's pushing 30, taking advantage of a girl who he knows needs mental help. It is sad he is able to make himself in the media appear as though he's innocent. And because he's attractive, you girls are eating it up. It's very much given how your mothers was all defending R. Kelly back in the day when the video footage was there. Okay? Because y'all mothers was out here defending Kelly to the death of him. And now Kelly in jail. You feel me? Blueface said it himself. Jonathan is the real him and Blueface is Jonathan times 10. He is able to play into this character where he is with Chrisean and he truly loves that aspect of the relationship. She keeps him relevant, but ultimately I believe that Mr. Jonathan Porter wants to be with his baby mother, Jaden Alexis, and they're all in some sort of cahoots. When I say they're all in some sort of cahoots, I think that ultimately Jaden is understanding that Chrisean is what's bringing in the money, and if this is what he needs to do to keep bread on the table, this is what he needs to do. And I think that Chrisean some way somehow is like, I don't think she's fully in on the plan to the extent of like she knows everything that's going on, but I think she definitely understands that at this point this is for money, and like it's clearly what's getting them views. So now when it comes to Chrisean, why I think that she is also to blame is because Chrisean is searching for love and she's looking for it in the wrong place. Being one of 12 siblings and watching the abuse that her mother had to face makes for a perfect sob story when it comes to anyone. However, Rock was one of those girls who, despite her obstacles, she was going to make it in the world through her athleticism. She did not need all this negative attention, but as mentioned, she wanted to express herself freely, and being an athlete did not allow for that. This girl is truly misguided and needs mental help. She talks about it almost once per day, which she indicates that she is aware that she needs to seek out professional help. Blue, truly, he just be gaslighting her sometimes into thinking that she doesn't, but then telling her she does. While Chrisean is out here thinking she's in this deep-ass relationship, Blueface is simply looking for a check. Despite being caught on camera stating that she was in it for the money, I think that Chrisean truly does want things to work between her and Blue, but she's starting to realize the reality of what it is and what it isn't. Ultimately, if she keeps this baby and goes through the pregnancy, she is in this alone, and he has made that very clear by insinuating that he is not the father when he has not once ever denied any of his other children, which is very telling for him and their whole situation. Now, despite everything that we have seen playing out, with this couple, it comes as no surprise that the situation they are in currently is where they have landed. Even Stevie Wonder could have seen this was coming because, let's be honest, we all knew that they were in it for the money of everything. However, at some point, both parties need to choose themselves and truly find out who they need to be. Clout can really be one hell of a drug, and Blueface was able to see that Rock was his winning puzzle piece for a long run in the media. Like, when's the last time you've heard Blueface putting out a song? We know him more for his relationship with Chrisean than anything. Now that there may be a potential baby involved, I am hoping that both people are able to play their respective roles and move on. Talk about wanting to break generational curses but keeping them alive. Ain't that some shit? Anyways, y'all, that's pretty much my whole take on the whole Chrisean and Blueface debacle and drama. Comment down below. Tell me guys what you think. And I'm looking forward to hearing everything that you have to say. Peace out.